Hello and welcome back to Gathering the Magic. Lorwyn Eclipsed is dropping soon and I wanted to give a hot take on one of Lorwyn's most controversial cards. Today we're talking about Hexling Squelcher. Of course it's only the blue players complaining about this card, and let's be honest, blue players are like those entitled rich kids that don't know how good they have it. Magic currently has one major problem, something known as singleton. Singleton means that you can only have one copy of a card in your deck. This is mainly used in popular formats such as Commander. The problem with singleton is that Magic has been printing multiple different cards that have similar abilities, meaning that singleton doesn't even matter anymore. A good example is counterspells. There are over 27,000 unique Magic cards and about 450 of them are counterspells, and more than 50 new counterspells have been printed since 2021. What is the most notorious color for counterspells? Blue. And red is a direct opposition to blue, which is where Hexing Squelcher comes in. In theory, you could have a blue deck with the commander, 40 lands, and 59 counterspells, which sounds absolutely horrible to play against. And if you were to actually build this deck, I'd assume drug use is responsible for most of your poor decisions. As of now, red doesn't have a whole lot of cards that directly counteract blue's counterspells. Red has cards like Pyroblast or Redirect spells, but nowhere equal to blue's counterspells, especially not 59 of them. And Pyroblast is too specific to be widely playable. This causes a power imbalance between red and blue. Now, to me, it makes sense for red to have cards like Hexling Squelcher that directly counteract counterspells. If I were in charge of the Magic department at Wizards of the Coast, I'd make a whole set of these cards to really teach those blue players a lesson. Let's look at Hexing Squelcher's abilities. Hexing Squelcher is a 1 generic 1 red 2/2 creature with this spell that can't be countered, ward pay 2 life, spells you control can't be countered, and other creatures you control have ward pay 2 life. Hexling Squelcher is a great addition because it counteracts blue's counter ability and for singleton value. It's the only red card that stops counterspells. It only costs 2 mana and is great for early game, but with ward, pay 2 life, you're only losing 2 life to remove it. Right now everyone is saying how game-changing this card is, but that's not the case. White already has something similar called Grand Abolisher, which is a white 2-drop that stops opponents from casting spells or activating abilities on your turn. In my opinion, Grand Abolisher is better than Hexing Squelcher, and sure it sees a lot of play, but it's not overly played and not even on the Game Changers list, like some people are saying Hexing Squelcher is going to be. Let's not forget about other counterspells hate cards like Gaia's Herald, Chimmel, the Inner Sun, Amulet of Safekeeping, Defense Grid, and many more. Historically, red has been neglected when it comes to card cycles, like what even was red's version of Gaia's Cradle, Shivan Gorge. Instead of giving you massive mana advantage, you get to pay 3 to deal 1 damage to each opponent. Blue's version, Tolarian Academy, was so good it was banned in most major formats, and red's version isn't even used. I think it's about time for red to get some upgrades, especially more counterspell hate cards, preferably ones that have different abilities than Hexing Squelcher. I think it would be cool if red had a counterspell that said counter target spell or ability that counters a spell or ability. All things considered, red should definitely be the color for counterspell hate, but it's definitely not that, and I'm glad that Wizards of the Coast is finally giving red some love in its newer sets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to support our channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe. Good luck and you're welcome.